In the description box below this video is a link where you can download my Excel spreadsheet, which contains my cheat sheet for Week 8 of college football from October 16th through Saturday, October 18th, 2025. This cheat sheet has independent point spread calculations based on power ratings from ESPN and TeamRankings and valuable against the spread trend data. Go to the description box below this video, click the link, which will take you to my Google Drive, where you can download this Excel spreadsheet by clicking File, Download, and Microsoft Excel. Next, I want to review the data sources that I used for this spreadsheet, and then we'll look at the Excel spreadsheet column by column and in detail. So the point spread information came from VegasInsider.com. ESPN publishes their power ratings called Football Power Index, and these numbers can be used to calculate point spreads. You go to Rankings, Football Power Index, and then you get up-to-date numbers. ESPN also publishes power ratings, separate power ratings published by sports analytics expert Bill Connelly. Bill Connelly calls his power ratings SP+. Every Sunday he publishes updated SP+ information, and here are his ratings in this column here. So I took his power ratings and then put them into my spreadsheet to calculate point spread numbers. Bill Connelly also breaks down the power rating into offense, defense, and special teams. The third source of power ratings is TeamRankings. TeamRankings.com is a company started 25 years ago by some Stanford graduates, and they also publish power ratings, which they call predictive ratings. And they're updated every week also. And so I took these numbers here, ratings, and then put them into the Excel spreadsheet. So now let's take a look at the Excel spreadsheet. So first, let me give you an overview of the major sections here. There's three major sections. So this first section has the power ratings from ESPN's Football Power Index. The second section has Bill Connelly's SP+ ratings. And the third section are the power ratings from TeamRankings. As you scroll right, I also provide a lot of other useful information. But the most useful information, I believe, is probably the against the spread information from TeamRankings. And we'll take a look at those. So let me zoom in. So in the first column, I have the games numbered. This numbering system is actually based on the VegasInsider.com sequence. So if you go to VegasInsider.com and you look at the games, the first game is going to be game 1, and then game 2, etc. So they're in the exact same order as VegasInsider.com. And then I also put road versus home. So for example, the first game is Tulsa and East Carolina, so you have game 1, road, and then home. The home team's always going to be the bottom team. So the second column has the teams. Now this next column here that says Vegas, this is the actual Vegas point spread, and this is from VegasInsider.com. And these are the point spread numbers as of October 16th, 2025. Okay, so now let's look at the next group of numbers. The next group of numbers are actually the power ratings from ESPN Football Power Index. Football Power Index. All right. So what I have here is, in this group of three, on the right side, I have the power ratings from ESPN. And then on the left, I have the point spread calculations. And then probably the most useful information is the difference between the point spread calculated using ESPN's Football Power Index versus the Vegas point spread. This lets us know, is it possible that Vegas is off? So in this particular case here, we see that East Carolina Pirates, the point spread is off by 5.5, which favors East Carolina Pirates. So the way I do this is green is good. So if you see a green number, that means that that team's point spread the Vegas number may have an advantage. Of course, you have to do additional research. You have to, watch highlights, check injuries, etc. But this is letting you know, hey, maybe you should take a closer look. Now, a minus, the red, is bad. So in this particular case, this point spread favors East Carolina, 5.5, Tulsa, minus 5.5. Okay. Now, let me show you a feature of the spreadsheet. If you look in the lower right corner of the heading, there's a triangle where you can open that up and you can sort largest to smallest. And this tells you the largest discrepancies. So as we can see here, Bowling Green has a discrepancy of a touchdown. What I did, if you scroll to the right, is I have the opponent too. So if you look in one column, you're going to see, you can see the opposing team on the far right of that column. So Bowling Green 7.5, Syracuse 6, East Carolina 5.5, Massachusetts 5.5, New Mexico 5.4, Marshall 5.1. Okay, so now similar thinking here is the next grouping here is Bill Connelly's numbers. Here, what I'm going to do to make things easier, I'm going to freeze the panes. What this does is by freezing the panes, you lock in the left side, of the screen, so we keep the teams in view. So we have here Bill Connelly's power ratings. These are directly from the website. And you can find Bill Connelly's power ratings by go to Rankings and SP+. Then I have the point spreads using his numbers. And then I have the discrepancies versus Vegas. So how do I calculate the point spread? I actually have another video that I published about a week or so ago that tells you how to calculate the point spreads using power ratings. But basically what you do is you take the home team, you add a home field advantage. What I use 3. So 3 or 4 is the standard in college football. I use 3. Then you subtract the road team. Then you flip that number, and that gives you the point spread for the home team. But I have a separate video where I explain how to calculate that. So now what we can do is we can sort largest to smallest, and we see that Maryland's point spread gives them an advantage by 12.4 points. The UConn might have an advantage, and then you have Texas Tech, Marshall, Mississippi, USC, Tennessee, TCU, Ole Miss, Louisville, UNLV, Memphis. Maryland, UConn, Texas Tech, they're worth a look. So sort largest to smallest. So I also want to let you know too is if you want to reset the spreadsheet, what you do is go to the first column and just sort sort A to Z, and that resets all the games. You can also search teams alphabetically by using this little triangle here. So resetting that first column. Now let's go to team rankings. So again, team rankings. This is the Stanford guys website extracting this number. And they say that these numbers are meant to be predictive, looking forward-looking. So again, here, team rankings, power ratings extracted directly from the website, calculated point spreads, and then comparing it to Vegas's numbers. So let's sort this. Okay, and then we have here Texas Tech. Texas Tech's 6.9 advantage. And again, here I have the opponent on this side. Sorry. So their opponent is Arizona State. That's in this column. So the column that's grayed out shows you the opposing teams. So that's how you can research. So this allows you to zoom in on games and let you know if there's a potential advantage. So now let's reset the games here. Let's go to the first game. So now let me show you, this is very valuable information from TeamRankings. And they have excellent against the spread information. But first here, so when you're comparing these, let's say you're looking at game 1, Tulsa versus East Carolina. Okay, you see here the win percentage. East Carolina is 50%. Tulsa is 33%. MOV is margin of victory. What is their average margin of victory? So we see that East Carolina is plus 13 and Tulsa is minus 17.7. So that's just score, results, margin of victory. Now the next column has against the spread information. So what I did here is it's sortable. And again, green is good. So against the spread means did they cover the spread? So what I would do is this. Go to the center column, cover percentage, sort largest to smallest. And we see that there's two teams that are 6-0 against the spread. And that's Memphis and Texas Tech, which means they've played 6 games. If you bet on them, they would have covered the spread 6 times and you would have won 100% of your bets. Now Ohio State is 5-0-1. There was 1 push, but they're still 100%. Now the column right next to it, ATS, is also valuable information. What it is what is the average margin by which they cover the spread? How much on average, how much are they above the point spread? And we see that Ohio State's 8.1, Memphis is 11.5, Texas Tech is 10.7. Now I highlighted all the ones with 80% or higher. So green is good, and I highlight the 80% guys. So if you scroll over to the right, I also have over and under information. Why? Because some of these trends are really strong. So in this particular case, you actually want to look at both ends. You want to look at the people that go over consistently. So let's do this. Search largest to smallest. And again, green is good. So I highlighted all the ones that are 80% or higher. So that means if you bet them to go over Air Force, you would have won 6 times and lost 0, 100% of your bets. These are really strong trends. So basically what that means is they're good at scoring, but their offense is, their offense is good, but their defense is bad. Now on the other side, unders also provide an opportunity. So let's sort. So this is under. Again, green is good. So for example, James Madison and Oklahoma Sooners have gone under 100% of the time. That's a trend that's something to take a look at. So I highlighted all the teams that are 8% or higher when it comes to going under. So you want to click two of the arrows, the buttons in the over under. So over, largest to smallest, and then under, largest to smallest. And that's the percentage of times that they've gone over. Now what I'm gonna on the rest of this is information that I published in a previous YouTube video. Let me show you here. And that video, if you go to the my channel and go to update week 7, this has all the updated information post week 7. So this is all information good looking forward to week 8. So what here also too is what I did was I took the spreadsheet that I discussed in this video and I placed it or kept it in the current spreadsheet. So I kept all the old information, but if you want more detailed discussion of it, go to the video that says update for week 7. But again, this is all week 7 data, so this was done on Sunday. So this includes the week 7 information going into week 8.